Well, with us now on This Is the Day is Father Justin Ramos. He's joining us via Skype from the St. Michael's Abbey for the Norbetine Order in California, which is celebrating its 900th anniversary this year. Thank you so much for being with us, Father Justin.
Thank you for having me.
I understand you grew up in California and you're now serving in the Norbetine community in Orange County. Tell us a little bit about its 900-year ministry and maybe the charism of the community as well.
Sure. Well, St. Michael's Abbey was founded here in 1961, but the original foundation was in France, in Prémontré, in 1121 by St. Norbert, and he founded the order because he was a worldly canon. He was not yet a priest, but he was a canon of the Cathedral of Xanten and living a very worldly life, and very much like St. Paul. He was thrown off a horse at when there was lightning and thunder, and he saw heaven and hell kind of before his eyes, and decided then at that moment that he needed to reform his life. And so from that moment on, he lived a very penitential life, and he founded the first community in Prémontré with that very intention to reform not only his own life, but also to help priests live a holy life, a very pure life. And that's part of the reason why he also chose the white habit to show the purity of the soul in which we're supposed to be living. So if you want to call it charism, it would be the charism of living a holy and purely authentic priestly life.
Yeah, and if you maybe talk about the Abbey itself, where you are, you mentioned it, 1961, I believe you said. Talk about I guess it was Hungarian refugees that might have started that Abbey there?
That's correct. So after after the founding of the order in 1121, of course, it spread all through Europe. And within the first 50 years, it is said that there was more than 10,000 Norbetine priests or canons, as well as nuns, and then the following of the conversi, which are like the lay brothers in the order. But amongst those, there was a foundation in Hungary and in the city called Chorna, and that was our original Mother Abbey. It was founded in the 12th century. Within those 50 years of the foundation of the order. And that had survived many, many different wars, all kinds of fires and all kinds of tragedies, but it never had been closed in all those years until the Communist Revolution. It closed the monastery down and the school that was run by the Abbey, and the priests escaped. And there were 7 of them that actually had to walk through landmines.
Wow.
And cut through barbed wire and swim across the river and finally come to freedom. And they came to Rome, and the Abbot General at that time gave them some options of where they can go and restart their community life. They ended up going to the Abbey of Wisconsin, which is St. Norbert's Abbey. And there they decided that they had to start community life in their own abbey, in their own priory at the time. And they ended up coming to California because at that time, Cardinal McIntyre had opened a series of schools here in Los Angeles and Orange County. And he asked for religious to come to instruct the youth there in the schools. And so the 7 fathers, who were very well experienced as teachers, came to Los Angeles to be able to teach in the preparatory schools there and in the diocesan schools. Then subsequently, we bought a piece of property in 1961, and they began the community life and a novitiate and a minor seminary there. That grew over the period of time from 1961, when it was founded, up until now. We've grown quite a bit. So we're almost at 100 now. Wow. 100 canons here. The original 7 founders that escaped Hungary, they have all passed away. The last one died in 2018, just about a couple of months before we had the foundation or the first diggings for the new abbey.
Wow.
And so it was as though they brought us to that point in that chapter in our history, and now we've continued it. And so we're very grateful for the foundation they gave us. They made many sacrifices. They had nothing when they came here, and they were able to provide us with the original abbey. And now we've started this new abbey, which is very exciting for the next chapter of our life.
Yeah, we're just about out of time, and growth is a good thing too. And we were delighted to bring the dedication of the new Abbey Church too. Maybe if you could quickly talk about that experience and what that day was like.
Yeah, so the dedication of the Abbey Church was such a momentous occasion because we had to raise quite a bit of money here in Southern California to found this new community here. And the reason why we had to found it is because we had a growth of vocations, and we have 42 young men in formation. They all were able to come back from all their places where they were studying to be present here at that occasion. We had the Archbishop of Los Angeles, the Archbishop of San Francisco, and many other bishops that were here together with us. And we also had many of the abbots from the United States. Unfortunately, we weren't able to have abbots from Europe and from other parts of the world because of the COVID shutdowns that we were experiencing. But that occasion was so beautiful. It lasted about almost 4 hours. Wow. And in the process of it, there was a lot of beautiful singing, a lot of praying. And I think people in general were just very edified that such a beautiful structure dedicated to God was built here. It almost is like a miracle. But we're so grateful to God and to all of those that made this possible.
And maybe for people who want to find out more about the Abbey and follow the work of St. Michael's, how would they do that?
So the best way for them is they could come online. If they just go to abbeynews.com or stmichaelsabbey.com, that's the best way for them to get in touch with us. We have a great portal for them to read about the Abbey, but also we have videos, stories about beautiful things that have happened not only here at the Abbey, but amongst the people that come and are somehow associated with the Abbey. It's called the Abbot Circle. And there's a lot of information there, both on the spiritual level as well as on the practical level.
That's great.
About being a good.
Thank you so much, Father Justin Ramos, for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. God bless you all, and keep on doing the good work of our Lord.
Thank you very much.